The Dirt Car Summer Nationals are all available live. Sprint car and late model fast passes are available now for just $39 a month, with single event subscriptions available as well. From Volusia to Charlotte, Fairbury to Lernerville, Eldora to Macon, and everywhere in between, Dirt Vision has you covered all season long. Every race, live, anywhere, anytime. Don't be left in the dust. Sign up for Dirt Vision today.
Hayden Cardwell 7 days ago put on an absolute clinic for the season opener of the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Championship Series here on iRacing, and now we're going to move to what's going to be one of the tightest and most difficult tracks on the calendar here at Limaland. Randy Chineth, Chase Rodman, and Hugo Louis bringing you all the action here tonight. And Chase, we go bull ring racing really early in this series for this stretch of the World of Outlaws World Championship, and this is going to be an exciting one. This was one of the most exciting places for these guys last season, and I think it's going to put on an amazing show tonight as well.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and I think what we're going to see here tonight is a lot of close quarters action, obviously, on this bull ring, and I think something we're going to see here in this race tonight in the main event is a lot of lap traffic. Last week we saw Volusia 50-lap race. We had one caution, and it's a 50-lapper here tonight for tonight's main event, and I think with 20 cars on the racetrack, we have a long green flag run. We're going to see these guys getting the lap traffic, and it's going to be tough, man. These guys at the back, they're just as fast as the guys that are leading these races, so it's going to be tough to pass these lap cars tonight. I think that's what's going to be the defining factor who wins this race tonight, who can get through lap traffic the best.
Yep, you take a look at your track information. Quarter mile racetrack here in Lima, Ohio. It is very, very fast, and importantly, Chase, high banked, which really for most quarter mile racetracks is really what you need to get some great racing going. And that means there's going to be one of two extremes you likely see tonight. You're either going to be seeing people having to get these cars way sideways on the bottom to get them rotated, or you're going to be seeing people right up against the wall on the cushion, and they're going to be ripping it probably 10 to 15 miles an hour quicker up there than you would have to be down on the bottom in order to make that work.
Yeah, absolutely. And the guys at iRacing did a great job. They put out a new patch this week trying to help out these dirt tracks, and they've slowed the cushion down a little bit here on these dirt tracks, which is going to help bring that bottom of the racetrack in a little bit. And, before that update, we already had, last year in the Sprint Car Series, we saw some guys work the bottom. James Edens was very good last year in the Sprint Car Series, working the bottom of the racetrack. So I think it's going to be really even lane by the time the feature rolls out here tonight. And right now, everybody's out there in practice hot laps just trying to figure out what their car's got, maybe make some last-second adjustments before their 2 laps of qualifying, which is coming up here in just a minute here.
Yeah, but we'll have a quick rundown of the event format once again, just in case we have any new viewers. It's going to be about an hour and 10-minute, hour and 20-minute show, and it'll kick off with the 2 laps of qualifying in just a moment. That'll set all 33 cars, is what I believe we have on hand here tonight, and then we will go into 4 heat races. The top 4 from each of those heats will go to the feature event. Those will each be 8 laps apiece. If you do not finish in the top 4, you will go to a pair of last chance qualifiers. Those last chance qualifiers, we will have 2 of them running in parallel. There will be 12 laps apiece. The top 2 from each will go to the main event, and then 50 laps of racing at the end of the night. That's the one where all the championship points and the money is going to be awarded for finishing in the top 3. And Let's just put it this way, Chase. That's where the show tends to be more often than not, as the clock officially counts down on the warm-up, and the track is officially open for qualifying. It was Hayden Cardwell who dominated last week, but in the quick practice session we just had, it was the 1:27 of Blake Matulos who put in the quick time through those opening handful of laps all the drivers had. But timing now gets started for the qualifying session.
Yeah, here we go, and we talked about those the money in the top three here tonight for the feature event. The winner will get $300 of tonight's 50-lap main event. Second place will get $200, and $100 go to third. So anywhere beyond that, you're not making any money. These guys are going to be really pushing it, trying to get into those podium spots, and it all starts right here, Randy, in qualifying. The guy that qualifies quick time will start on the pole of tonight's first heat race, and if he's able to win that first heat race, he will start directly on the pole of tonight's 50-lap main event. So this is where it all starts, man. This is where your night can either be made or broken here. So we've already got a couple of guys that have turned in some laps. Look at Jeremy Capron is at the top of the speed charts right now, 12:6:27 after only 5 cars have gone out. We've got 32, I believe, here tonight, Randy.
Yep, 32 cars is what we have on the docket at the moment. Currently 5 has logged qualifying laps. We're trying to sort of cherry pick a little bit, see some of the quick guys. The 26 of Drew Hirschko, he's going to roll off onto the racing surface and in towards turn 3, and he's getting ready to start the first of his pair of hot laps. Let's see what this number 26 car of Drew Hirschko can do as he'll work in towards turns number 1 and 2. See him running the bottom, sliding up to the middle through those first couple corners, down the quick back straightaway here at this quarter-mile Limaland racetrack, and through 3 and 4, still liking the middle. 12.6 is the current marker. He goes to a 6.86, about 600s off, and he's going to try the top on lap number 2.
Holy cow, Randy. These first 5 drivers all in the 12.6-second bracket. Jeremy Capron right now is at the top of the speed charts, but Nick Cooper is 2 1,000ths off of him. And now there goes Dylan Hauser up to the top of the speed charts with a 12.617. So the top 6 drivers all in the 12.6. And there goes Evan C., 12.613. These guys are putting down some rippers here at the midway point of this qualifying session.
4,000ths of a second currently separate your top 2, and Dylan Hauser, he put his lap in. He was running the middle to the top, so look for those sort of higher lines maybe working out for guys. Kevin Dedmon getting ready to roll off here, as well as Hayden Cardwell, last week's winner in the 72. He rolls off and down the back straightaway in towards turns number 3 and 4. Right now we're looking at Kevin Dedmon, who's getting ready to begin his hot lap here, running the bottom in towards 1 and 2. Go ahead, Chase.
Yeah, Kevin Dedmon, man, an interesting story there. I actually know him in real life. Met him back at the Millbridge Speedway in North Carolina. Kevin is actually the lead singer of the band Dirty Grass Soul that plays multiple times on the Millbridge Speedway. Sounds like Cardwell
goes half a tenth quicker than everyone. Only one in the 5s right now. The 72 putting on another clinic just like he did last week.
Yeah, Cardwell puts down an absolute burner, 12.579 right now. And just to put it in perspective, the next fastest driver is Evan C. with a 12.613. So Cardwell has got something figured out these first 2 weeks, man. And this might be the Alex Bergeron of the late model series here, Randy.
Very well might be, and that number 72 car, he's not going to even bother putting in the second lap, just needs the single hot lap to get. Oh, and speaking of Alex Bergeron, he'll go 7 1,000ths quicker in the number 12 car. And Garrett Robinson goes quicker than that. People are starting to get down into the 5s.
My goodness, this is getting exciting here in the last couple of seconds. Looks like we've still got about a minute and a half left to qualify some of these guys. Looks like we've still got about 10 or so drivers left to run a lap here, so it's definitely not over yet. There's the 51 car, Matt Mckinney on the racetrack out of Illinois. He's got the Swindell Speed Lab Esports and the Bell Helmets Weiser Organic sponsor number 51 car. You see him run around the bottom, gets one of those infield tires right there. We're going to be seeing that a lot here tonight, Randy, in the heat races, especially in the main event when this thing starts to get slick off. These guys have to keep that left rear tire down in the moisture, and that's going to, make them have to run over those infield tires with the left front, which can upset the car if you hit it wrong. But if you hit it just right, it'll set you up pretty nicely to go down the straightaways with some speed.
First lap for McKinney, not a great one at a 7.37, puts him on the lower end of mid-pack. That one will be a little bit better, put him up towards the top 10 with that 6.47. A couple cars still need to run laps. The 44 Blake Cannon, his first quick time comes through. It's good for 5th quickest at the moment. That's actually his second lap, apologies for that, but first one did not count. Shad Prescott is a driver that still owes us times, but he is not currently out there on the racetrack. I don't see any other driver currently out there on hot laps, and there's only about 20 seconds left. Shad Prescott is not going to have enough time to get out there and even put a qualifying lap down. But Garrett Robinson there, Chase, in the last moment, steals that away from Alex Bergeron in the 12. And I think Garrett's going to be pretty happy with that. But to be honest, I think Alex is going to be more than pleased with himself, putting himself second quick time.
Yeah, absolutely. Garrett Robinson right now, top of the speed charts. Looks like he will come out with tonight's fast time. Alex Bergeron was second. Last week's main event winner Hayden Cardwell in the third spot. Then a couple of Swindell Speed Lab Esports cars in fourth and fifth with Kendall Tucker and the 44 of Blake Cannon. Evan C., Dylan Hauser, Jeremy Capron, Nick Cooper, Dylan Fox. Looks like Matt McKinney rounds out the top 10 here as we are about ready for this first heat race.
Yep, heat race number 1 getting gridded up right now. Let's go down that starting grid. Garrett Robinson, your pole sitter. He'll start on the inside of that front row with Blake Cannon alongside of him on that opening row. Row number 2 made up with the 35 of Nick Cooper and the 127 of Blake Matulos. Going back to row number 3, you're going to see Kevin Dedmon and Virgil Graham on that third row. And then on row number 4, Jacob Fields and Austin Carr. And you mentioned it a little bit, Chase, the fact that we've sort of gotten a mid-season update for these guys. Granted, they were only one race in. We're not going to be seeing that cushion build up as tall as we typically did. A little bit of track prep changes and, of course, some major changes for the non-wing sprint cars as well coming in and proving the way those cars drive, really prepping for their World Championship a little bit later on. But it's going to make for an interesting show here at Limaland with that cushion being not quite as aggressive as we typically seen in the past. Might not see that top side be as strong as we typically would at the end of the night.
Yeah, that's fairly interesting. I mean, this update came out, I think, on the 27th, so these guys have really had about 4 days to play with this thing, and, that's not a whole lot of time. A lot of these guys put in a ton of time with their setups and trying to find out where the best line on the track is, and then iRacing comes in there and throws a boomerang at them and changes up the whole algorithm. So it's going to be interesting to see who finds out where the fast line is fastest here tonight. So I'm interested to see how that works out here as that first heat race starts to roll off. Garrett Robinson and Blake Cannon. Blake Cannon right now second in the point standings, ended up on the podium last week at the Volusia Speedway Park. Blake Cannon was really, really good there last week, Randy.
That he was, and he's got himself a nice, good qualifying spot here for his heat race. He only has to pick up one spot, and this heat race, starting first versus starting second, if you can hold that, at the end of that these things, especially in the opening heat race, that's the difference between starting first and starting fifth. Between that, the inside and the outside of that front row, as drivers currently work their way through on towards their second observation lap here at Limaland behind the iRacing safety truck. And, well, it's a quarter-mile racetrack, which means the lap times are quick, and that means the cautions don't take long either. And it's going to be Garrett Robinson who brings us to racing here. We are green here at Limaland, and your top 2, they swap lanes before they ever head into one, and we already got sliders being thrown for the lead.
We haven't even ran a full lap there, Randy. A big slider for the lead already. Blake Cannon went up across the nose of the 97 car. Garrett Robinson. Robinson able to turn it back down to the inside. He'll lead lap number 1, but Blake Cannon fighting back on the outside. Already 2 grooves developing here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. Nick Cooper right now in the third spot. Good battle going on for fourth between the 0 car, the 307, I should say, of Kevin Dedmon and the 127 of Blake Majulis.
Top 2 still spreading out a little bit, though. Blake Cannon takes the lead at the stripe from Garrett Robinson. They're still side by side, but Blake Cannon is going to be able to get that back. The 35 of Nick Cooper, he's running the middle. Going to be the next one Garrett Robinson might just have to deal with, but Nick Cooper is struggling to get away from the likes of Kevin Dedmon and Blake as they work off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Little contact maybe between the 35 and the 97.
Yeah, there's definitely contact between the 127 and the 307 right there, entering turn 3. No harm, no foul, though. They keep on going. Almost 3 wide right now for that third spot. Blake Majulis in the middle of the racetrack is trying to split between the 35 of Nick Cooper and the 307 of Kevin Dedmon. Now the 127 goes up the top of the racetrack, tickles the wall up there in 3 and 4, now falls back in line, back in the 5th spot. The battle for the final transfer spot right now is heated.
Things really, really tight right now between Cooper, Dedmon, and Matulos, and we've only got a couple laps left, 2 to go this time as they come across the stripe. The 44, Blake Cannon, able to sort of stretch the gap just a little bit. He's not that far up the road, but he doesn't have a bunch of people breathing down his neck the way Garrett Robinson does right now. White flag here at the opening heat race here at Limaland, and can that 127 of Blake Matulos, can he get himself into a transfer spot? He's trying to line up the outside move on that 307, but just can't quite get it done. He's going to finish 5th, but Blake Cannon is going to take this opening heat race with Garrett Robinson, Nick Cooper, and Kevin Dedmon so tightly behind him. So very, very tightly contested heat race there, Chase. And this is why people like you and me love these quarter-mile bull rings. Absolutely amazing racing in heat race number 1.
Everyone was separated by less than 2 seconds. Look at that. The top 6 drivers, the top 5 drivers all within a second right there, all over each other. Cannon wins it. Robinson second, Cooper third, Dedmon fourth. Those guys will go straight to the main event. Blake Majulis, Jacob Fields, Virgil Graham, and Austin Carr will have to head off to the B main and try their luck there as heat race number 2 now grids up on the racetrack.
So heat race number 2 coming at you, and let's go down your starting grid. And on the inside of the front row, it's going to be your sprint car Nostr Energy Drink world champion from a little bit early on this year. Alex Bergeron will be on the point for heat race number 2 with Evan C. starting on the outside. Dylan Fox and Steven Wilson on row number 2 with Adam Elby and Brian Wayant Jr. in row number 3 with Brandon Proudfoot and Justin Thompson on row number 4. And I know a lot of the existing drivers that give me a little bit of a harsh time for really liking Alex Chase, but Bergeron, he really is, in my opinion, the most well-rounded dirt driver we have on the sim, and him coming out, and he had an off race at Volusia, but putting it second quick here tonight in the second round, sort of setting a message to all these guys that he's not going to mess around, and he's really going to try to round out 2 world championships in 1 year, something that's never been done on the iRacing service before.
Yeah, that would be quite the achievement there for that 12-car Bergeron. I was going to mention earlier, Randy, it's great to see a whole different list of drivers in this late model series. Obviously, we have a couple of guys from the sprint car series like Adam Elby, Alex Bergeron, Nick Cooper, James Edens, Matt McKinney, a couple of guys that run both these things, but it's awesome to see that we have guys split the difference between the late models and the sprint cars. And here we go, off turn number 4, Bergeron will lead him off turn number 4 and down to the green flag for heat race number 2.
We had a slider at the opening of the first one. We're not going to see this one for that race lead. Alex Bergeron able to get out to a comfortable lead. Evan C. slotting himself second. Look at the outside. The 32 is Steven Wilson. He runs right up against the wall here early. Doesn't really pan out for him. He's got the 74 of Adam Elby nearly hunting him down. You also have that 999 of Dylan Fox. 3 wide for those 3 as they work into 3.
Yeah, look at the 32 car. That top of the racetrack's coming in, and he'll go by both those guys down the front straightaway. He doesn't clear them all the way, but he does have the nod at the start-finish line. Give the third spot to the 32 car, Steven Wilson, as Adam Elby and Dylan Fox continue to go side by side for the final transfer spot. Elby down on the infield tires. He'll have it at the line. Adam Elby up to 4th.
See the way these lines are ebbing and flowing at the moment. A lot of race cars moving towards the middle and top side of the racetrack. Your top 2, they run the middle. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. 2 of them are on the top. 5th place runners on the bottom. The 74 of Elby still holding on to that transfer spot, running right there along the bottom of the racetrack. The 999 of Dylan Fox trying to fight for it. He clipped the wall through 1 and 2, I believe, as now Adam Elby has, I believe it's the 88 of Brian Wayant Jr. to deal with.
Yeah, he's also got the 999 of Dylan Fox right out to his outside. Now Fox takes over the 4th spot right there. Elby slides back to 5th. But look at these guys on the bottom of the racetrack, man. They're hitting almost every tractor tire down on the bottom, trying to keep that thing in the moisture. Elby's doing a great job, but it looks like the top of the racetrack is definitely the place to be right now. It's Bergeron, C, Wilson, and the 999 of Dylan Fox.
White flag this time off of corner number 4. This is going to be who holds that transfer spot at the moment. It's going to be the 999 of Dylan Fox, but Adam Elby keeps lurking there trying to make something work. But he's busy trying to hold off Brian as they work through 3 and 4. Alex will win this opening heat race. Who's going to transfer? It's going to be Bergeron, C, Wilson, and Dylan Fox will take it. And Brian Wayant Jr. will steal that 5th spot away at the end of 8 laps of racing in that second heat race. This racetrack, even just through 1 heat race chase, has changed a lot. We've seen that middle groove really start to come in.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. After the first heat race, it looked like it was really slick already. And I think by the end of this 4th heat race, we might see some black slick down through the middle of the racetrack here. I mean, this thing is slicking it off real quick. There's your rundown of that second heat race. Bergeron, C, Wilson, Fox, the transfers. And it's Brian Wayant Jr., Adam Elby, Justin Thompson, and Brandon Proudfoot, your 8 drivers. Those back 4 guys will head off to the B main. And once again, those front 4 will go right straight to the feature event as heat race number 3 now grids up on the front straightaway.
So let's go down the starting grid for this 3rd heat race. Last week's pole sitter and race winner of Hayden Cardwell. He'll start on the front row with Dylan Hauser in the deuce. He'll start on the outside of that front row. Matt McKinney and Drew Hirschko on the second row with Casey Kerwin and Phil Diaz on row number 3. Nice that we got a couple NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series drivers on the same row amongst one another with Chris Beck and Blake Garrett rounding out the 8-car field in this one. So opening observation lap already done and over with. Then, well, it's all eyes on the 72 to seeing what exactly he is able to do after the performance he's able to put in last week, Chase.
Yeah, absolutely. Cardwell, he really set the bar high last week at Volusia, man. He won by over a straightaway over the rest of the field. So everybody's got their eyes on him here tonight. He comes in as the point leader as the iRacing safety truck pulls off the speedway. It's going to be Cardwell and Hauser leading him down the green here for the 3rd heat race.
So here we go. Let's see, can Hauser make a move on Cardwell early? Answer's going to be maybe, but Dylan gets into the wall. Now he has to deal with the 51 of Matt McKinney, that bright red Swindell Speed Labs car. They not put much effort in the paint scheme, but they seem to have put a lot of effort on the setup. That 51 looks quick.
Oh, contact behind him between Dylan Hauser and the 14 car of Casey Kerwan. But like I was just about to say there, Randy, I'm telling you right now, a good-looking paint scheme will not make you go faster. And Matt McKinney's showing you that right now. He's moved up to the second spot. Looks like he might be actually tracking down your leader, Hayden Cardwell, right now. Cardwell leads by about 4 car lengths as they go through turns 3 and 4 right now. McKinney through the middle, Cardwell up top, and on the bottom in the third spot's the 26 car of Drew Herchko.
He is following Matthew McKinney. Is that 26 car of Drew Herchko, matching each other in lap times. Only a couple hundred separating that last trip through, but Hayden Cardwell nearly a tenth quicker than the pair of them as they work out the front straightaway and in towards 1 and 2. Already more than halfway in heat race number 3.
Yeah, this is the most spread out we've seen these guys as Hauser tags the ball down the back straightaway. Here comes the 14 car, Casey Kerwan, back down to the inside. He shows him the nose right there. Kerwan might have the spot at the line, but no. Hauser holds him off for now with just 2 laps to go. The battle for the transfer spots heating up here between the 14 and Casey Kerwan. Here comes who is that? The 39 car, Chris Beck, throws his nose in there as well.
Weren't even talking about him, and he's starting to become a factor, really harassing the 2 car of Dylan Hauser for this transfer position through corners number 1 and 2 for the penultimate time and in towards 3 and 4. White flag this time off of turn number 4 for these guys. It's Hayden Cardwell with a comfortable advantage at the head of the field, but once again, it's the fight for the transfer spots that we really have to watch through number 1 and 2 and in towards 3 and 4. Can he get the move he needs? Here comes Casey Kerwin. Bit of a slider, but he won't be able to hold on to the 39 car and get it. No! Dylan Hauser takes it at the stripe, so just by a nose, the number 39 car of Chris Beck will lead out, and it'll be your top 4 of Cardwell, McKinney, Herchko, and Hauser who go to the main.
Yeah, fantastic racing there for that final transfer spot. Cardwell looked like he had him covered pretty well there, but luckily for us as announcers and for the people at home, after that dominating performance last week at Volusia, Cardwell will not start on the pole of tonight's main event. He'll have a little bit of work to do. Cardwell wins it, McKinney second, Herchko third, Hauser fourth, Chris Beck with a close 5th place finish. Then it was Casey Kerwan, Blake Garrett, and Philip Diaz will round out the 8-car field there for heat race number 3.
And the thing I'm loving about tonight, Chase, is that we're not seeing any of these heat races. Occasionally we'll see a driver who really drops back or has issue in a heat race. We've not seen that yet tonight, and the heats have all been close amongst all the finishers. Only really a couple seconds separating all of them, this last one being the biggest gap. Let's go down your starting grid for heat race number 4. Kendall Tucker on the pole position with Jeremy Caprone on the outside of that front row. Randall Carter and Tyler Schell on row number 2 with Blake Brown and Zach Leonardi. Of course, Leonardi in the 24, your defending series champion, does not put in a very great qualifying situation tonight. Let's see if he can maybe work his way through this 4th and final heat race with Austin Semmelman and Shad Prescott towards the tail end of this 4th and final heat race. And the 00 of Kendall Tucker, 4th quickest, and he's got a driver of Jeremy Caprone who looked very good last week out of Volusia. Let's see what that pair can do, and once again, keep an eye on the defending series champion here in towards turns number 3 and 4. Green flag is out. The 0 is on it.
We got a big wreck behind him at the start there. The 044 of Tyler Schell goes around, and the 18 of Austin Selman as well. It looked like Schell got hit from behind by the 24 car of Zach Leon Hardy, and Leon Hardy's falling back from your top 4 right now. They're almost a straightaway ahead of him, so it looks like the top 4 guys might be a shoe-in here for the transfer spots.
Huge issues there on the opening lap, so your top 4 going to be sitting relatively pretty at the moment. That's Kendall Tucker, Randall Carter, Jeremy Caprone, and Blake Brown. But I'll tell you right now, the 77 and the 23 who run 3rd and 4th, they are not playing too nicely with one another. They're thinking of making 3 wide with the 37.
And the 41 car of Shad Prescott and the 24 of Zach Leon Hardy are loving what they're seeing up there. As those guys are trying to go 3 wide. They're trying to close in on him right now. Leon Hardy and Prescott both come into the night top 5 in the point standings. They need to get up there in those transfer spots right now as they continue to battle for the 4th spot. But meanwhile, the 24 and the 41 are both side by side for 5th as well.
Oh, Zach Leonardi, not a great run on the outside, 1 and 2 that time, and loses a couple car lengths, but still able to get a good run and keep up with that 41 car. Now down the front straightaway, you can see Shad Prescott has comfortably put himself into that 5th position, trying to chase down the 23 of Jeremy Caprone and the 77 of Blake Brown. 2 laps remaining to go in this heat race, and the fight still keeps going on for 3rd and 4th as Blake Brown has just comfortably sat himself out there. Jeremy Caprone has just had to deal with Blake Brown every single trip around this racetrack of this heat race. White flag of this 8-lap heat works itself in towards turn number 1 and 2, and Kendall Tucker right up against the tires now. We're starting to see the racing line move back down to the bottom side of the racetrack as the fight for 3rd and 4th continues. Kendall Tucker will comfortably win heat race number 4 with Carter second. It'll be Caprone and Brown who finish 3rd and 4th in that order.
How about the run, though, for the 41 car, Shad Prescott? I mean, he didn't even get a qualifying run, and he must have gotten stuck at the snack bar or stuck in the porta potty or something, didn't make qualifying. He started dead last and comes home fifth. That's pretty good. He'll start up front in the B-main event. But, man, that's a good way to, turn that thing around after not being able to get a qualifying lap. Kendall Tucker wins it. Randall Carter, Jeremy Caprone, Blake Brown, Prescott, Leon Hardy, Selman, and Shell. Your 8-car field, and it looks like we've already got the first B-main on the racetrack there, Randy.
Yeah, so LCQ number 1 getting itself gridded up, and let's go down your starting grid. It'll be Blake Matulos and Chris Beck on the front row, with Jacob Fields and Casey Kerwin on row 2, Virgil Graham and Blake Garrett on row 3, with Austin Carr and Phil Diaz rounding out the 8-car field for this first last chance qualifier. And Chase, these guys, when we get to that 50-lap feature event, these laps are going to tick off really, really quick here. I mean, we've only been racing for about 15 minutes, and we've already got 4 heat races done, and we've got the first LCQ gridding up. You are not going to have a lot of time to work in that main event. You'll have the same number of laps as you'll typically see, but in terms of how quickly those laps are going to rattle themselves off, it's going to be not a lot of time at all, and blink your eye and you're suddenly 30 laps into that main event later on tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we're running 13-second lap times right now, and if I got the calculator out right now, 13 times 8 for those heat races, you're looking at about 104 seconds. So these heat races, like you said, Randy, are going through quick. We're in the B main. This is only adding an extra 4 laps on there. So 50-lapper, man, it's going to go by real quick, and you got to be on your toes in these things, man. Things happen so fast here, and it's not like you're in the actual race car being able to, account for different things happening on your computer. At home, you're really you're vulnerable to a lot of things, and these guys, that's why they're showing that they're the best in the business here. They can miss these crashes and go to the right place at the right time and make it happen. So you're going to be seeing some great racing here tonight. We've just got 2 more B mains and then a big time 50-lap main event here at the Limaland Motorsports Park. I'm excited to see how it all turns out here tonight as the pace truck pulls off. B main number 1 is green. We already got contact right there in the mid-pack.
Yep, Casey Kerwin in the 14 was sort of the one initiating that. Nearly a big pile up in your mid-pack like we saw just in that last heat race. But now it's the 127 to 39. A great turn 1 for Blake, but it's not going to keep up through 3 and 4. That 39 of Chris Beck is all over him as they work into 1.
3 distinct lines right now. Blake Majulis on the top side. Chris Beck in the 2nd spot. He's down on the bottom. And in the 4th spot is the 14 of Casey Kerwin. He's working the middle of the racetrack in the peak antifreeze number 14 car.
And swapping spots back and forth with that 007. Limited contact between him and that 007, but that clipboard number 14 peak antifreeze series car trying to work his way up into the transfer spots. He ran through the LCQs last week, wasn't quite able to get to the main, but he put on a good show trying to do so. Now the 1 car of Austin Carr, he's trying to hook up the top 3 wide, trying to fight for 3rd.
That's what I was going to say. The 1 car of Austin Carr started dead last in this thing, and I was watching him right there. He's 3 wide right now for the 3rd spot. He's still got plenty of time to get up to Chris Beck in the 2nd spot. He's the only one working the top of the racetrack with the exception of your leader, and there he goes to 3rd. Here comes Austin Carr in car number 1. He is moving on the top of the racetrack. Chris Beck might have some company here.
Blake Matulos has checked out. Now here comes the 1 car of Austin Carr. This is looking like some of the sprint car races we had, where we had Alex Bergeron ripping the top and no one moving up, trying to challenge or tried for themselves. Off of turn 4, the 1 car will get a nose in towards 1 and 2, and Austin Carr is going to fight on the outside for this transfer spot. A little bit of contact there. The 14 of Casey Kerwin, he's going to get sent around, and I think Chris Beck kind of moved up when the 1 was there.
Yeah, that was a close call right there. It looked like the 39 car did not leave a whole lot of room to the 1 right there, put him in the wall, and a chain reaction sent the 14 through the infield. The battle for 2nd continues. Just 3 laps to go this time by when they come across the stripe. It's Chris Beck, now the 1 car at the line, I think. Austin Carr is now into the 2nd spot officially.
He's in it maybe officially at the stripe, but he's still got the 39 in front of him. Now he'll cut back to the bottom. Slide job for that transfer spot. The 39, though, Chris Beck drives it back down to the bottom. This is going to come down, I think, to win. That checkered flag comes out, and it's probably going to be a drag race to the line.
Yeah, your leader is absolutely checked out. This time by coming down to 2 laps to go. Lap number 11 of 12. It's still Beck with the 1 car of Austin Carr in his back pocket. Right behind him is the 42 car, Virgil Graham. He's in the catbird seat. If one of these guys makes a mistake, your leader's checked out as he comes down to the white flag one more time around for Blake Majulis. Right now, can Chris Beck hang on? Here comes the 1 car of Carr. He tags the wall in 1 and 2 on the entry. He's got to run down the backstretch. The 39 pulls up in front of him. Contact. They both go to the bottom in 3 and 4. Who's it going to be? The 42's there as well. It's going to be Chris Beck with the final transfer. My goodness, Randy.
Oh my Lord, what a run that was. I think Virgil Graham, or take that back, I think Austin Carr was setting up and he was going to have the run, but Virgil Graham through the Hail Mary made a little bit of contact, and I think that checked up Austin Carr. But your top two who will transfer, Blake Matulis by 3 seconds, comfortably at the head of the field with Chris Beck in that second spot. Those two transfer, Virgil Graham, Austin Carr, Blake Garrett, Phil Diaz, Casey Kerwin, and Jacob Fields. That's going to be the end of their nights of racing. One more last chance qualifier and 2 more cars we going into the main event. Brian Wayant and Chad Prescott will make up the front rows. This one with Adam Elby and Zach Leonardi in second, Justin Thompson and Austin Semmelman in third, with Brian Proudfoot and Tyler Schell in fourth. But man, oh man, Limaland for these guys, Chase, this might be the Bristol of the World of Outlaws late model series, because I think there's going to be some pretty people hot under the collar after this one with some of the rough racing we've seen.
You can't really help it either, Randy. I mean, you can barely go, the corners, you could probably go 6 wide if you tried, but really when you're racing, man, it's hard to go 3 wide, especially down these straightaways. I mean, they're so narrow. You're going to have some contact here, and these guys got to realize that there's going to be some contact made, especially when you're running around those transfer spots. So they'll get over it, and they'll come back next week for those guys that did not transfer out. But I'm telling you right now, it's put on a good show for us announcers and the fans watching at home.
And a lot of big names starting near in the mid-pack and towards the back of this field. Leonardi starts 4th, Austin Semmelman in 6th. Justin Thompson was pacey last week, and he seems pretty decent this week as well. The 98, he starts 5th. I'd expect a good show for this second LCQ. Pace truck is off. We are ready, and the 88 of Brian Wayant Jr., he's going to pick up the throttle. We are green for 12 more laps in LCQ number 2.
Now look at the 88 and the 74 of Adam Elby go down to the bottom of the racetrack as Chad Prescott goes up top. Looks like he'll be credited with the second spot at the end of the back straightaway. Prescott knocks the rear fender off that thing, hitting the wall in turn number 4, but hangs on to the second spot for now. We saw him come from 8th up to 5th in his heat race, so Prescott right now comes into night 5th in the point standings. He's got to have a good run here. He's got to transfer, and he's tight on the wall. He gets into the wall right there, and he's going to lose a spot to Adam Elby and the 24, Zach Leonhardi.
Leonardi not quite able to capitalize, I think, as well as he would have liked, not getting the run. The 74 of Adam Elby, though, he'll slide up in front of Chad Prescott. Chad says, okay, I'll throw it on the bottom. In towards 3 and 4, and Adam Elby right back down there to the inside. He's going to take the spot right back. Look who's lurking in the background, though, that 98 of Justin Thompson. He's closing on this duo as Brian Wayant Jr. is starting to open up a little bit of a gap to make himself comfortable. Yeah, Wayant is loving what he's seeing in the rearview mirror right now as those guys continue to go tooth and nail. Chad Prescott and the 74 car of Adam Elby side by side for the final transfer spot. I'm telling you right now, this is huge point implications. We're only on point race number 2, but you got to have solid nights every single night with only a 10-week season. Prescott and Leon Hardy right now, they need to put themselves in contention. Leon Hardy, last year's champion, he does not want to miss this main event. 24 Leonardi did very well on the outside to hold off both Adam Elby as well as Justin Thompson. And back up into the wall again with a 24 Zach Leonardi as we're halfway through this LCQ, about to have 5 laps remaining in it as they work off of turn number 4, and Leonardi has to fight back once again on the outside 3 wide, racing with Justin Thompson and Adam Elby. This time there's a 74 of Elby. He falls into 5th, and Thompson will take 4th as the 41 has gotten up to the 88, and Chad Prescott is starting to race with the 88, your race leader, and we have a new leader at the line. Yeah, here comes the 24 of Leon Hardy creeping into the picture as well. Brian Wayant Jr. trying to run the safe line down to the bottom by those infield tires. It's good enough, but I don't think it's good. It's working for him right now, but I don't think it's going to be good enough to transfer here. Here comes the 24 car of Zach Leon Hardy. Last time by, he was 2/10 faster than the 88 of Brian Wayant Jr. Wayant's got to try something different. He wants to put it in the show as Leon Hardy bounces off the wall and turns 3 and 4. Just 2 laps to go now. 2 laps remaining. Your defending series champion trying to keep himself into a main event here. I think if you don't make a main, your championship hopes are likely dashed with no drop weeks in this series. White flag this time at the stripe, and Brian Wayant Jr., he's got about a 1/10 of a second in it. Can Zach Leonardi make up that time? Knock down the back straightaway he can. He's going to have a miracle turn number 3 and 4. He's going to scrape that car, run the outside wall, and he will not be able to do it. Chad Prescott and Brian Wayant Jr. will make the main, and your defending series champion will miss out on the main event. The first time we've seen that this season, Chase, from the 2 of our World of Outlaws World Championships. Alex didn't miss a single one in the sprint cars, but Zach, a little bit of disaster for him here tonight.
Wow, that's huge right there. I mean, like you said, Randy, I don't think you can miss a race and still win the championship unless Leon Hardy puts on an absolute incredible string of races here for the rest of the season. But that's huge point implications. Some of these guys that were worried about him for this entire championship are probably licking their chops right now. That's a huge opportunity for some of these guys to start towards the front of this field here tonight that Leon Hardy did not make it. So we're about to get ready for this 50-lap main event, Randy. I think we got a pretty good track on our hands.
We do. The track is very, very racy, and we have a bunch of racy drivers getting ready to get lined up for this main event feature here tonight. Do not go away here on the iRacing Esports Network here on RaceSpotTV. We are going to be back to you in just a couple of moments. We're going to catch our breath, but in less than a minute, we'll be back for the 50-lap feature event. Don't go away.
Race fans, you wanted the best? You've got them. Live on DirtVision.com. Presented by Dry D. The World of Outlaws, NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. The World of Outlaws, Morton Buildings Late Models. Knoxville Raceway and the Knoxville Nationals. And the Dirt Cars Summer Nationals are all available live. Sprint Car and Late Model Fast Passes are available now for just $39 a month, with single event subscriptions available as well. From Volusia to Charlotte, Fairbury to Lernerville, Eldora to Macon, and everywhere in between. Dirt Vision has you covered all season long. Every race, live, anywhere, anytime. Don't be left in the dust. Sign up for Dirt Vision today.
Drivers currently running hot laps as they prepare for the main event here for the second round of the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Models iRacing Championship Series here on the iRacing Esports Network, brought to you by RaceSpotTV. And Chase, in less than a minute, we're going to be gritting these guys up for 50 laps. I honestly don't know what the preferred and really the fast line is around this racetrack at the moment. Seen some quick guys run the middle, seen some quick guys run the bottom, and seen some quick guys right up against the wall. I think you can basically make anywhere work, at least at the moment.
Yeah, you can definitely run up top, hit the wall a little bit. You can run down on those infield tires. You got a good throttle foot. You can really pedal that thing through the middle of the racetrack. You might be able to make it work. So I'm watching the warm-ups right now. I'm watching a couple guys run that middle of the racetrack. So I'm definitely, I'm really excited to see how this works out, man, because we've definitely got a couple, a multi-grouper here tonight, and we've got a lot of guys that are hungry for a victory here in this series. We are shaping up to have a good one. But like you said there, Randy, right now I don't think anybody really knows what the fast line's going to be.
Well, we've got a multi-groove racetrack. We've got fendered super late models, and we have an incredibly high-banked quarter-miler here that makes for some high speeds. That's going to make for some thrills and for some spills for sure when these guys get going. The 3-minute warm-up has officially come to an end, so your 20 best drivers in this World Championship will be getting themselves gridded up. And let's go down your starting grid for the second round of the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Championship Series here at Limaland. Blake Cannon puts in quick time and wins his heat race. He will start on that front row with Alex Bergeron, your sprint car, your NOS Energy Drink sprint car champion, starting on the outside of row number 1. Last week's winner, 72 car of Hayden Cardwell, he put on a clinic, and he will start on the inside of row number 2 with Kendall Tucker on the outside of that second row alongside the 12. Garrett Robinson and Evan C., they will make up row number 3 with Matt McKinney and Randall Carter on row 4 with Nick Cooper and Steven Wilson. They will round out your top 10 in the top half of this field. Drew Hirschko and Jeremy Caprone on row number 6 with Kevin Dedmon and Dylan Fox on row number 7. Dylan Hauser and Blake Brown on row 8. Blake Matulos and Chad Prescott on row number 9 with Chris Beck and Brian Wayant Jr. rounding out your 20-car field. Field will be rolling off in just a couple of moments' time. Chase, and any predictions for this one?
Absolutely, man. I'd never heard of this guy before last week's race, and he really impressed me. The 41 car of Chad Prescott, I think he's going to be the Joel Berkeley of the late model series here tonight. He is going to roll through this field, and I think we'll see him into the top 5 by the end of this thing here tonight. And another prediction we've got, I think we're going to see a lot of lap traffic here tonight, Randy, a long 50-lap main event, and these guys are definitely going to have their hands full. I think about 15, 20 laps or so, maybe 25 if we can make a long run like that, and we'll see these leaders get into some heavy lap traffic here, and it'll be providing some interesting racing for sure.
quick correction. I said Blake Cannon put in quick time in qualifying. I was incorrect. It was a 97 of Garrett Robinson who put in quick time. He starts 5th, so keep an eye on him. Pace Truck, though, is going to work in towards 3 and 4, and the 44 of Blake Cannon in command of the field. Look at Hayden Cardwell. He's already eyeing up, making it 3 wide as we are green for 50 laps here at Limaland. The 44 immediately slides up to that outside wall. Here comes the 12 of Alex Bergeron. Can't get the run, though, as we are green for 50 here at Limaland.
Yeah, the 44 of Cannon now works the middle of the racetrack right there. Here comes the 12 of Bergeron down to the inside. Does he try the slider? Nope, he doesn't have enough momentum right there. Runs the middle of the racetrack, and it looks pretty good right there. Actually maintains pace with the 44 of Cannon. Cannon will lead lap number 1. He'll come around and lead lap number 2 as well.
A lot of close racing in your mid-pack. The 51 of Matt McKinney. He's fighting with the 97 car of Garrett Robinson. Evan C. mixed up in this fight. I see the 35 car, Nick Cooper. He's lurking there as well. The 00 just out ahead of that duo. Now here comes the 72, though, of Hayden Cardwell. Fighting for the second spot. He's trying the bottom on your top 2. We're both comfortably running right up against that outside wall, but Hayden can't quite make something work just yet. He's going to throw it back up to the top side after trying the bottom groove. They're 4 wide for a moment off of 4, and I think the 33 of Evan C. He just split gap and picked up 2 more cars, and he's going to work on the 35 and the 51 now. They're 4 wide off of 2 on a little quarter miler, and they're going to make it work in towards 3 and 4.
This is why these are the best drivers on iRacing service right there. It is so hard to go 4 wide at this little bull ring in these big stock cars, man. That was an incredible job of driving right there by those guys back in the mid-pack, but the battle still wages on up front. Alex Bergeron is absolutely pushing around the 44 car Blake Cannon. While those guys are going 4 wide back there, Bergeron tried to make a slider work on Cannon. They nearly got together, but they continued on. They all run the top of the racetrack. Here comes Cardwell down on the inside, pulls up next to Bergeron right there, and nearly gets by him down the front straightaway.
Can't quite get the run off, though, so it seems like, at least at the moment, in the top, yep, you're right, we get a yellow. I think it's for a quick spin. I don't see any major incidents out there on the racetrack, and I don't see any cars missing from that racing surface as well. Looks like it was a 39 maybe involved with this. The 2 of Dylan Hauser actually was, I think, the initializer. He was the car I see get spun around initially, and he got kind of loose, I think, coming off of turn 4, maybe a little bit of contact. He kind of slid up into the 999, and then the 999 got him into him again as Dylan was trying to reset. And honestly, the way things were fighting like that, Chase, not really a surprise to see someone get a nice little half spin, but no major contact overall, and everyone has relatively clean race cars, and where it should maybe get everyone calmed down a little bit, and everyone's strung out now.
Yeah, that was a good little run there. I think that was about a 10-lap run for these guys to try to feel out their cars, see what they got here for the rest of these 40 laps. I'm telling you right now, if I was the crew chief on that 72 car of Hayden Cardwell, I would be telling my driver right now, you are running better lap times if you run the top in 1 and 2 and the bottom in 3 and 4. We saw Cardwell pull up next to Bergeron there a couple times there when he ran the bottom in 3 and 4. He's just got to hope for one of those guys at the top 2 to make a mistake, and he might be able to drive by him on the bottom of the racetrack here. Looks like we're about to go back green here momentarily there, Randy.
Yep, lights are already out. Really quick restart here in this championship. Hayden Cardwell, he tried at the initial start, and, well, the 44 Blake Cannon holds him up. He's going to have a nice clean start. As it gets nearly 3 wide for second in last week's winner of Hayden Cardwell. He gets spun at the head of the field, and somehow we stay green as they're all jumbled up in the mid-pack, and Hayden Cardwell gets shuffled down to about 15th.
Here comes Alex Bergeron down to the inside for the race lead to the inside of Blake Cannon, slides up the racetrack, nearly gets by him right there. Cannon drives back around him. Now Bergeron is in a Swindell speed lap sandwich. He's got the leader of Cannon right in front of him, and the 00 of Kendall Tucker, his teammate, just behind him in the 3rd spot. It's a Swindell speed lap, almost top 3 as Bergeron breaks up that battle right now in the 2nd spot.
Bergeron trying to pressure that 44 car, and, well, if you're hoping for Alex to make a mistake, it's not going to be likely. We saw him run the top comfortably all year long in the sprint cars. He just really was ripping the wall. I don't think we're going to see that 12 car pick up out there. The 51 of Matt McKinney, though, he's trying to chase down that 00 of Kendall Tucker that is his teammate, and what a night it would be for those guys, Chase, if they could somehow get all 3 of those guys onto the podium, but Alex right now is kind of killing that vibe for him.
Yeah, and don't look too far ahead right now, Randy. Lap traffic lies ahead for your leaders. They're about almost on the same straightaway as the last place car, Blake Brown, right now. If we stay green the rest of this race, I'm telling you right now, you will not see anything crazier than these fast guys getting into the back of this field here, trying to go as hard as they can for this win here tonight.
12 tries running the tires once again. Does Alex Bergeron down low. Can't quite keep the momentum up. And Blake Cannon will hold on to that race lead at the moment. Kendall Tucker and Matt McKinney starting to lose a little bit of ground as Evan C. and Nick Cooper, they're fighting in the 35 car. A little bit of a half spin off turn 4. And Nick Cooper in the 35 TTL Esports car. He's going to lose nearly a dozen spots as the 999 and Dylan Fox is on the wall on his right-hand side. But Dylan gets it caught up, and we're going to keep this thing green.
And Randy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the 127 of Blake Majulis was in the B main. He runs 5th right now in the 127.
You are correct. He started this race in 17th. He was in one of those last chance qualifiers, and we're still in the first half of this race, and the 127 finds himself running comfortably inside of the top 5, now trying to chase down the 51 of Matt McKinney, and I think mostly get away from this mid-pack. Your leaders starting to spread themselves out. Blake Cannon with a 3/10 of a second lead over Alex Bergeron. Then it's a second back to Kendall Tucker, another about a second back to Matt McKinney, and about a second and a half to Blake Majulis. After that, the whole field still stacked up on top of one another as Cannon still closes in on that lap traffic. They're now in the same corner.
Yeah, we're not even halfway through this thing yet, Randy, and we've got lap traffic just about maybe 5 laps away. Will these guys give way, though? I mean, they don't have to. If they're racing for position, they do not have to get out of the way of the leaders, but if they want to play nice and they want to make some friends in this series, they might get out of the way, but I doubt it. Right now, Alex Bergeron. Oh, and there's the caution. Caution's out. Looks like the 23 car, Jeremy Capron.
That's a bit of a disaster there for the 23. We'll see what exactly happened to this 23 car. Looks like he gets sent around, and you know what? It really wasn't any fault of his doing there on that one. There was right ahead of them. I think this was the 35 and the 26. Nick Cooper and Drew Hirschko. They were fighting, and they got into each other as they went up into turn 3 and 4. Actually, it was it was the 2 of Dylan Hauser. Sorry, Drew. It was the 2 of Dylan Hauser. Just got into the wall all by himself. Nick Cooper trying to avoid had to get all out of the throttle, and well, that left the 23 car really nowhere to go and ends up just spinning himself around. So 2 cautions here tonight, chasing both of them just like contacts, and we're going to see all 20 cars still out there running on the lead lap.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, a big sigh of relief. I think I heard it from up here in the announcer's booth from that 44 car, Blake Cannon. He will get away from those lap cars and he'll have a lot of clean track to work with when we go back green. So a big, positive thing there for your leader to not have to worry about the lap cars. But I'm telling you right now, he does not have this thing in the back. Alex Bergeron's been pushing him around this entire race. I'm just waiting for the guy to make the move down to the inside and throw a big slider on him. I don't think he's going to make it early. The pace truck pulls off. We've still got about 23 laps to go in this one as we go back green.
We saw Nick Cooper win one of these races at Limaland on a restart last year. Can Alex maybe make it work? He gets up into the 44, and Blake Cannon gets intimidated. The 12 of Alex Bergeron fighting for the race lead. Makes Blake Cannon. Blake in the 12 car. He'll have it off the 4, but the 44, he'll take it back in towards 1 and 2. Alex looks back down to the bottom, and Blake Cannon into the wall on the outside of turns number 1 and 2. Back to the slide job for the 12 of Alex Bergeron. He's trying to pick up this race lead, but he just can't keep the speed up on the bottom, and here comes Matt McKinney as well.
A big slider right from the 12 of Bergeron. He ran over the infield tires, and Cannon right back down to the inside. A great battle going on at the front of this field. Cannon tries to clear him. They're not clear. Contact down the front straightaway. The 44 with the slider once again. He's back out front now. The 12 back down to the inside. The 2 cars behind him are right there with him as well. They're 2 by 2 for the top 4.
4 cars all scrapping for your race lead. Alex has it at the moment, but Blake Cannon once again throws the cut back and he gets it, and I think he's going to be comfortably in the race lead. Alex doesn't get a great run off of turn 4, so those 2 are going to somewhat settle themselves out. And McKinney and Kendall Tucker, they need to continue fighting for third. The 00 of Tucker still down there on the bottom, and the 51 of McKinney up top. Little contact between the 2 teammates, and oh, by the way, here comes the Swindell Speed Labs esports car of Blake Majulis. He now runs 5th. So it's Alex Bergeron and 4 Swindell Speed Labs cars inside of your top 5.
And we know that Alex Bergeron will not be intimidated by that with all the success he had in the Sprint Car Series. We know that he's not even thinking about that right now. He's surrounded by a bunch of teammates. He does not even care. He pulls up back to the back bumper of Blake Cannon. Does he look for the slider? No, he does not. He rides behind him. Still 15 laps to go in this one. And lap traffic looms ahead once again. These guys are getting there quickly again. If we stay green, they're going to get there by the end of this race. And Bergeron continues to pressure the 44 Cannon. Just waiting for, he's biding his time right now, just waiting to make his move.
And look who it is who's going to be the first lap car they get to, last week's winner, and of course current points leader, the 72 of Hayden Cardwell at the back of the field running last, still on the lead lap, but after his little half spin and getting shuffled back into the field, not been the great second round that he was hoping for. But the 12 of Bergeron still pressuring the 44 of Blake Cannon as they work through 3 and 4 as we approach 10 laps to go.
Yeah, now the scenarios start to run through your head if you're Blake Cannon or Alex Bergeron. Cannon knows that the slider's going to come by the end of this thing. He just wants to be on the right end of it when they come off turn 4. If you are leading, entering turn 3, and you get slid by the guy in second, you want to be that guy that gets the putback on him. you want to be the guy that crosses the start-finish line first. And so Cannon right now, I think, has the advantage unless Bergeron can slide up and run in front of him just perfect enough to where Cannon can't get crossed back underneath him. Here comes Bergeron down to the inside. 1 and 2 will try it with 10 laps to go. He clears it. Cannon back down to the inside. Here we go again, Randy.
Blake Cannon still holds on to that race lead, but Alex had it for a moment through 1 and 2. Alex just sizing up that 44 car, seeing how things are going to pan out, and maybe Chase just trying different lines. Oh, and lap traffic is coming. The 44 of Blake Cannon all out of the throttle through the center of 1 and 2. Alex has the lead for the moment. Slide job from the 44 of Blake Cannon, the 12 of Bergeron. He's going to take it right back in towards 1 and 2. Can Blake Cannon slide up in front of Alex Bergeron? Yes, Alex makes a mistake up top, and Blake Cannon muscles his way back to the lead.
These guys are going tooth and nail for this thing. It's not over yet. Coming down to 7 laps to go, and Bergeron's still right there with him. Cannon kind of roughed him up a little bit right there and got into the side of him, got the lead back, and here comes the 00 of Kendall Tucker now. A 3-car battle for lead as they work off the cushion of turn number 4. Just 6 laps to go at Lima.
Kendall Tucker is there, and Blake Matulos from the B main. He's not very far off the back of this fight either. We're back to 4 cars racing for this race lead. They single file it out. 6 laps to go this time. Off of turn number 4, Alex loose off of 4. He's going to try it over the tires on the inside. Alex maybe a little bit too hard. He'll tag the wall off of turn 2. He'll side them right back up in towards turn 3. Right up the racetrack he goes. Won't even get by the 44, but he's trying to get there in these closing laps.
Yeah, that might have been the nail in the coffin there unless Bergeron can get back on his high horse right here and get back up to that 44 car. He might have went a little bit too early to make the move. He gets back up on the top of the racetrack, starts to close in just a little bit more. Lap traffic looms ahead. Just 4 laps to go. I don't think they'll get to the back of the lap cars. It's going to be between your top 2. Blake Cannon, Alex Bergeron, 3rd place. Kendall Tucker's now a half straightaway behind. They'll come down this time. 2 laps to go, and Bergeron's in the back pocket of the 44. Here he comes. Here comes the slider for the race lead. Bergeron up across the racetrack, Cannon right back down to the inside. They'll come by this time. 2 laps to go across the line.
2 laps remaining in this race here at Limaland, and they are just covered by a blanket on the 44 and the 12. They haven't hit the lap traffic yet, but it is close through 1 and 2. It will not just about into the wall. Is that 44 car of Blake Cannon? Alex not able to size up a move just yet. He'll have about 1 lap, 1 more attempt. Blake Matulos in the background. He takes 3rd, but Kendall Tucker takes him back through 1 and 2. Alex gets into the wall, and that's going to put the nail in the coffin. And the 44 of Blake Cannon, he ran runner-up last week at Volusia. He will win the 2nd round here at Limaland.
Wow, that was one of the best sim races I've ever seen in my life there, Randy. What a great job by the 44 Blake Cannon, and a good job by Alex Bergeron. Those guys ran each other hard. I wouldn't say they ran each other clean, but they ran each other very hard and put on a great show for everybody watching. How about Blake Majulis from 17th, and he ends on the bottom step of the podium here tonight at Limaland Motorsports Park. A great run for that 127 car, and it's just a great race overall there, Randy. What a race.
I'll agree with you, Chase. I don't think they raced each other clean, but they definitely didn't race each other dirty. Did those top 2. They were not afraid to use defenders, but a lot of respect shown to those top 2. Let's go down your finishing order here at Limaland as Blake Cannon, after 50 laps of racing, he held off a lot of pressure from Alex Bergeron, and he will take victory. Alex ends up in 2nd. Blake Matulos, he starts 17th, and he finishes 3rd in the feature tonight. What a run from him. Kendall Tucker in 4th, and Matt McKinney will round out your top 5. A lot of Swindell Speed Labs esports cards inside of that top 5 for sure. Stephen Wilson in 6th. Brian Wayand Jr., he started this race dead last, and he finished in the 7th spot. Randall Carter in 8th. Kevin Dedmon 9th, and Evan C. He will round out your top 10. Dylan Fox in the 11th position with Garrett Robinson in 12th. Dylan Hauser 13th. Nick Cooper in 14th. Chad Prescott in 15th with Jeremy Caprone, Drew Hirschko, Chris Beck, Hayden Cardwell. He at least keeps it out of last. He'll finish in 19th after a perfect race for the opening round of the championship. Not a great one for the 72 coming into the 2nd round of the championship. And Blake Brown will round out the 20-car field. All cars finished and all cars on the lead lap tonight, Chase.
Yeah, that's actually a big surprise with how much I was talking about lap traffic. I think if we didn't have one of those yellows, we definitely would have got there. But great to see all the cars on the lead lap. And man, oh man, I can't wait to watch the replay of this one because that was incredible stuff there. And I think we've got our interviews just about lined up here, Randy, right?
We sure do, and we are stood by with that driver of the number 44 Swindell Speed Labs esports car of Blake Cannon. Blake, you ran a fantastic race last week at Volusia, ended up getting your way up into second after some hard fighting, and tonight, I mean, you pick up the pole position after winning that opening heat race, and man, that was a tough one. You and Alex nose to tail for all 50 laps. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He was a little bit quicker than me. But we had a good race, and that was a hard, clean fought race, and he kept me honest for the 50 laps. I really felt like when we got going, I was pretty much just as good as him, but he was a little bit better on the restarts. But nonetheless, man, I'm out of breath, but what a race.
Now, you say you're out of breath, man. I mean, these people at home that watch that maybe don't play iRacing, they don't understand how physical it is. Not only, I mean, if you have force feedback on, I mean, obviously after 50 laps like that going at it, your arms are getting tired, but your brain, man, how nervous were you there? I mean, almost the whole race, he was right on your back bumper like some Talladega, Daytona draft and stuff right there. That was incredible stuff. Were you a little bit nervous out there?
Absolutely. I think when you race against this caliber of drivers, you always get nervous, but it's tough mentally, not much physically. I mean, it is physically because it's tough, but mentally, you got to be inches off the wall. You got to focus on your line. You got to worry about that dude behind you for 50 laps, hitting your marks. If he throws a slide job, you got to decide whether you want to gas it up and try to make it around him, or if you turn down. I mean, it's just a lot that goes into it, and staying off the wall here at Lima is a big part of it. For 50 laps is tough.
Blake, last year, this Super Late Model Series, I really think was the world championship to watch on the iRacing Esports Network. You kind of routinely put in some of the best side-by-side and car-to-car racing that we saw across all of them. The sprint cars really set the bar high for you guys. You think you guys are going to be able to make this one the fan favorite again?
If you don't like what we saw tonight, you probably shouldn't tune in next week.
Well, if you like intense racing, be sure to switch on the Monday nights. I can't say tune in or Will Vincent will yell at me. Be sure to log into the streams on the Monday nights during these World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Championship Series races, because they've been one heck of a show to watch every single week. But Blake, to you and everyone at Swindell Speed Labs Esports, congratulations on the win here at Limaland. And before we let you go, who gets it done for everyone involved with the operation behind that number 44?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that, with iRacing that puts on the series. It was a bummer I didn't quite go for it last year. I feel like I wasn't ready. But this year we come out full force. But just got to give a huge thanks to everybody at Swindell Speed Lab. They've opened me with open arms, as well as Kendall and Blake. And man, what a team, man. I think we had 4 out of the top 5. So what a run for the entire team. You got to thank everybody like Kevin. James wasn't here this week, but got to thank him. Adam, I hate he didn't make the race, but he's always quick. I got to give thanks to Bergeron. He didn't drive me dirty or nothing. It was a clean, hard race, and I got to thank him for not wrecking me. I got to say congrats to Kendall, Blake, Matthew. I got to thank Augusta Aquatics for everything they do for me, as well as Swindell. And just, man, I'm super pumped and ready for next week.
Well, there he was, Blake Cannon, your race winner, the driver of that number 44 Swindell Speed Lab esports car, comes away after 50 laps of action. He will be $300 richer and your main event winner of the evening. Coming home in the second spot tonight, though, is the number 12 car of Alex Bergeron Racing, driven by, guess who? Alex Bergeron. Alex, you come out of the gate, you win the Sprint Car Championship in 2019. You come into the first round at Volusia, and you ran good. You didn't get a great qualifying heat race finish, but you got yourself solidly up towards about the mid-pack. Tonight, though, I think you really made a statement. You qualified well, and you had amazing pace and pressured Blake all the way, and I think we're the quickest car in the feature tonight. How does that feel mentally, knowing that you kind of are able to come off the back of a championship win and then immediately be competitive in these super late models?
Definitely feels good for sure. We're fast tonight for sure, and it was a good race with Blake there. Just the top was very dominant, and really had to make the good moves, and we missed a bit on that tonight. Just want to take it easy for a championship. We're 9th in the championship before this race, and now we're 2nd, so we're a couple of points back. But just like tonight, Aiden just finished in the back, and he's in 6th now in the championship. So everything can change quick, and just got to be patient all season long. And I know we're definitely fast in late miles. We just got to work hard every week.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear. I mean, did you know coming into this championship, did you think you had a shot at really winning these races and having a shot at a championship? Because I know, you're friends with Coleman Gulick, and I know you were kind of a sprint car guy. Did you really think you had a shot in these late models? Did you think you'd be second in points after the second race?
We never know in racing, but last year we ran third and we missed the race. We missed the feature last year and we're third in the championship. So I knew I was going to be, decent. But tonight with a second place, just going to help it in the championship. And, like I said, we just got to work hard every week, and we definitely had a shot for a championship. It takes hard work and dedication.
Knoxville definitely put on some of the best races in the Sprint Car Championship a little bit earlier this year, Alex, and we head to the Sprint Car Capital of the World next week to go super late model racing. You think we're going to see a very, very racy racetrack, or because of the way the fact these are different types of race cars, do you think it may not suit this type of racing as well?
It's definitely going to be good. Depends on, how much practice we get, how the track's going to work out. The track might be a bit techier or slicker. We never know. So if it goes slick, we're definitely going to be on for a good show, and for the fans out there for sure.
Thanks for joining us, Alex, and congratulations Alex. Huge shout outs to Alex Bergeron. Alex, thanks for joining us. This is what happens when you have a slight lisp and or get thrown into broadcast booths. It's not great. Alex, congratulations on the second place finish tonight. And as if we haven't heard it enough, who gets it done for that number 12 Team ABR New Albany machine?
Well, for sure, Team ABR, Jason Nagar, my girlfriend, work hard, and like tonight, get a good finish out of that. So very, very proud of that as a team. Thank you to all the persons that helped me out, all my partners, Neobi.com, Sunshine Mckinney's, BK Designs, CSI Chalks, Mac McLaughlin Racing, Martin Inc., everybody watching, my dad. Coleman maybe watching, everybody for watching, all the fans out there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the series, and thank you to iRacing for putting the series up and with Wall of Outlaws, and just it's a pleasure to be part of this.
So there he was. Alex Bergeron comes home second place here tonight in that 12 car. Yeah, definitely I think he was the quickest in lap times, just wasn't quite able to outduel that number 44. But one driver, he outdueled a lot of race cars in this one. He came out of the B, and he started this race 17th, and he passes 14 cars to get himself into third. Blake, I honestly think that if things don't go wrong in your heat race, we may be talking about you as potentially your winner tonight. That 127 was hooked up.
Yes, sir. If maybe a little better qualifying effort there and didn't have such bad luck in the heat, I think we would have been very good. I was surprised with the speed we had and keeping right up with the leaders with all that damage I had coming from the back. I was very pleased with the run.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, man. I mean, Kevin Swindell is known as a sprint car guy. He ran USAC midgets, he ran USAC sprint cars, World of Outlaws. All.
Really, with
all
a name like Swindell, he's a sprint car guy. Who would have guessed?
That's what I'm getting at. Is he puts together this team for late models, and he's got 4 guys in the top 5 in the second race of the season. I don't think anybody really expected that. Did you?
No, I just shot him a text actually right now. I mean, 4 out of the top 5 is amazing. I can't thank Kevin enough for bringing us on board. It's a great opportunity, and we've been really fast here with the combo with the sprint car guys and the late models, so can't thank him enough for sure.
Well, we say that the Swindells are sprint car guys. I'm just going to say this. Just go open up the Chili Bowls winner list and see how many times you see the name Swindell pop up on that list. But, Blake, we head to Knoxville next week, and such a great and iconic racetrack there. And how do you think this 127 and everyone at Swindell Speed Lab Esports is going to get on there? Because really everyone under the Swindell blanket really looked hooked up and fast tonight.
Yeah, Knoxville, that's definitely one of my strong suits. I'm thinking we're going to be good. We're getting better here every week, and, I can't wait. So, great series iRacing has put together here. Another great race, so, yep.
Well, Blake, after another successful run here, congratulations once again on the podium. Who gets it done for everyone there at Swindell Speed Lab Esports?
Yeah, just got to thank Kevin, Kevin Swindell, Swindell Speed Lab, all those guys for helping me out, and we all put a lot of work together to be fast like we run here, so I can't thank them guys enough. iRacing, iFlag, Jeff Brown for all he does for me. Without him, this wouldn't be possible neither. Bell Helmets, Weiser Organics, Design 75, Jeremy Ray, iRacing, and World of Outlaws for putting this show together, and you for broadcasting.
And Blake, I gotta say real quick, man, I love your face shot for the stream. You're even sporting the Swindell Speed Lab hat. I mean, you're doing a great job for the sponsors here tonight.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Sponsor placement on sponsor placement for the 127 of Blake Matulo says we are going to round out the interviews here and get ready to close out the show. And, it's Chase, we only have a couple of the quarter milers on the sim, and that means we got to wait a bit. But, man, I want to go bull ring racing again. This was fun.
You want to go bull racing?
Yes, I want to go bull racing.
We'll go bull racing with Alice Bergeron and all the rest of her friends. No, but man, you're right. This was incredible stuff tonight. I was not really. I mean, I knew we were going to have a good show after Volusia, but I did not think we were going to have a dogfight like we saw tonight. Blake Cannon and Alex Bergeron put on a race for the century, man, and they really set the bar high for the rest of the season. And I can't wait to see how the point standings line up here. We had Hayden Cardwell crash. Zach Leon Hardy didn't make the show. Shad Prescott ran back in the 15th spot. I'm looking at the points right now, and I mean, this thing is all jumbled up already after just 2 races, and it's going to continue to be like that for these next couple of weeks.
Yeah, right now, Blake Cannon, of course, your points leader after winning his heat race and finishing second last week and winning the main event here tonight. And it's actually Alex Bergeron who's gotten his way up into the second spot in the points. But, you look at the schedule right there, and 3 of the most iconic racetracks we have on the sim, Knoxville, Eldora, and we go to Volusia for the second time. We visit twice in the first half of the championship, and that's going to be, I think, an entertaining stretch of races there, Chase, because Volusia put on a good show, so round 5 will be good. And Knoxville and Eldora always racing, and they always provide great racing across all the cars we have on the sim.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. I mean, I'm not a big late model guy, as you know, Randy. I think we both are late model guys, but I think after tonight...
We're mostly CRA guys, let's be honest.
I mean, I think after tonight, I might have to actually turn on Dirt Vision and watch the late model races, because if it's anything like it is on iRacing, then it's got to be exciting in real life, because tonight was just incredible. So, yeah, I'm excited for these next couple of weeks. It should be good. Also, I want to give a shout-out to Tim Terry for covering for me last week when I was down there in the DR. So, thanks, Tim. I don't know if you're watching anymore, but thanks, buddy, for covering for me.
I'm sure Tim is watching. He always tries to tune in, and we appreciated having Tim last week. But it's good to have my regular backup in the booth next to me of Chase Rodman. And, well, after what is basically an hour of some of the most amazing racing we've ever seen here on the iRacing Esports Network, that is going to close out the show here for the World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model iRacing Championship Series. And before we go, gotta give huge thanks to all the sponsors here, World of Outlaws and Morton Buildings. Those are the 2 big ones making this championship possible. Huge shout outs as well to Clint Boyer, and the fact that, keep in mind, everybody, the winner of this championship, on top of $10,000 heading their way and getting to go to the World of Outlaws Championship banquet at the end of the year, they get to wheel a Clint Boyer late model at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And of course, we got Christopher Bell supporting Alex Bergeron, who should be able to get headed out there, and he'll get to wheel a sprint car around that place near the end of the year as well. But that is going to do it for us here on the iRacing Esports Network. It's been myself, Randy Chineth, Chase Rodman, and Hugo Louis bringing you the show here tonight. And, well, next week we head to the sprint car capital of the world at Knoxville, and it's going to be a good one here in the late models. You do not want to miss it. But until then, bye-bye.